Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sly and today we are going to play Demonologist. So we are not exactly playing, as you can see, I'm like doing this video a little bit different, trying out a new style, and I realized that maybe some of you guys don't actually need like a walkthrough or playthrough when it comes to a guide like this. Money XP guide is all about the numbers, so today I'm going to provide you the numbers. I've done all the back-end testing, so I appreciate if you just drop me a like right here because this really took me a lot of time. And subscribe to my channel as well. I've created a lot of exciting content for Demonologist and I'll be creating more in the future as well, so I appreciate all the support I can get. The point of today's video obviously is because of the new update. So 0.3.0 has implemented quite a bit of changes so far. Not a lot of changes, but quite a lot of important changes. That's the most important thing. So to kickstart today's video, we'll be taking a look at the patch notes quickly. We have added a new tool, new purchasable tool, which is the Follow Talisman. Is it useful? I haven't actually got it to work and I'm not exactly how or what am I supposed to expect it to do, to be honest. ESG has been boosted by 10% and now it includes the following voice commands: manifest and show yourself. Apparently I didn't know that was a thing, but I've actually done a little bit of testing and I think that the ESG is a little bit more reliable now, but yet there is a, you have the star, the asterisk over there. Terms and conditions apply. Findable lore notes have been added. Alright, so lore notes happen to be one of the additional objectives. You can't really just go around and just look for the lore notes as it is. It doesn't spawn like that. Unless there is the optional objective for it, it will spawn once you have identified the ghost. Flashlight toggling has been added. The default key is F. Even if you're not holding a torchlight in your hand, apparently if you press F, you will hear the sound of the switch clicking. So it doesn't make any sense. Text-based voice command and speech recognition has been added, so the default key is P. So this is actually a very welcome addition. If you guys don't really have a microphone or you have the same issue as me where my computer is like a potato, it doesn't have enough power to actually run the game correctly, sometimes it doesn't even pick up my voice as well. Pressing P, typing into the game really works wonders. It works even way faster than just speaking to the mic. So that is a very welcome addition. Thank you developers for that once again. Single player reward boost has been increased by 1.5 times. Previously there wasn't this single player reward boost. I've been playing single player for most of the time and apparently I didn't really get that much of it. It is one of the main reasons why the money XP guide has been updated, so stay tuned because there's a lot of other things that has been changed as well, and this is just one small part of it. New random objectives has been added. This is another reason why the money XP guide has to be updated. I'll be sharing with you some of the random objectives that I have noticed so far, as well as the amount of money and AXP that you'll be getting for each of those. So that's pretty much it. Most notably is the fact that the random objectives has been implemented into the game. So what that means is when you are playing the maps, regardless of whichever map that you're playing, whether it's abandoned house, whether it's Cyclone Street or even hospital, you have a total of 3 objectives right now. Of course, the ones that don't change is for Cyclone Street and hospital, where you need to look for the time of death. That is a fixed objective. Hospital, you have to look for the gun parts. There is a fixed objective. Abandoned house, you have 3 objectives that is randomized, whereas for Cyclone Street and hospital, you have 2 that is randomized. If you're thinking of trying to make your way through random guesses every single round, I'm just going to let you know it doesn't really work very well that way. A lot of the money actually comes from the optional objective and you have to get the ghost right, because if you don't, then you're going to suffer a penalty. So for easy mode, that will be 30%. For medium mode, that will be 50%. Hard will be 70%. One thing that is very welcome in this update is the fact that you are able to tell how much EXP you're getting from each objective completed. The money multiplier still stands the same at 1 times for easy, 2 times for medium, as well as 3 times for hard. One thing that is additional is the fact that if you're playing this in single player, you get an additional 1.5 times boost, so that 450% if you're playing single player hard mode. That's a lot of money that I could actually get if I if they implemented it earlier while I was doing my challenge, but it doesn't matter to me right now. I got a lot of money. It's all in game, I'm not that rich in real life. Unfortunately, the EXP isn't the same. The EXP is not affected by the solo multiplier, so you do not actually get the 1.5 times additional boost as per what they actually say in the patch notes. So what they mean by rewards is probably just the money part, but the EXP, it seems to be the same. So this is the formula for calculating your rewards. You have the base reward. Let's say you are getting $100 for a particular objective. Then you multiply it by the difficulty. If let's say you're playing hard mode, that's $100 multiplied by 3, that's $300. And if you're playing this in single player, you get an additional 1.5 times, so that will be 300 times 1.5. $450. So the next thing we will be going through is the map based rewards. What you're going to see on the screen right now is the amount of money you'll be getting just with the base amount. So it doesn't include any multiplier, no difficulty multiplier, no solo multiplier, nothing like that. So it's just the base amount, and it's going to be the same if you're going to play this in multiplayer easy. So let's start it off first with the abandoned house. So if you get us the correct ghost type, that will be $600. If you exercise the goals, that will be $300, and then you get 3 randomized optional objectives. If you're playing in Cyclone Street, if you got the correct goals type, that will be $900. If you exercise the goals, that will be $350. You will have 2 randomized optional objectives. The one that is fixed is the looking for the time of death with the ectoglass. And if you're playing in hospital, if you got the correct goals type, that will be $1,500. Exorcism will be $400, and you have another 2 randomized optional objectives. The things that are fixed is the gun parts, like scattered around the place. Right, so the new things that have been added into the game is the optional objectives. So we are starting with the lowest paying one all the way to the highest paying one. So for the lower tier, we have the silhouette, which is the one, the sitting human chair silhouette thing, which we have to look for with the ectoglass. It pays you a basic of $50, and in terms of EXP, you will be getting 8. The next one will be blowing out of the candle. You get $100. EXP, you get 8. Medium tier, if you take a photo of the ghost, you get $150. EXP, you get 8. If you found the lost note within the map, you get $150. EXP is 8. Pentagram ritual, if you complete that, you get $200. EXP is 15. If you upload the computer data, you get $200. EXP is 8. And for the higher tiers, if you collected all 3 ghost orbs, you got $250. EXP is 15. If you collected all the sword bags, that'll be $250. EXP is 15. If you look for the time of death, this one is fixed obviously, you get $250. EXP is 8. If you put all the dead rats into the boiler, that's $300. EXP is 22. If you found all the gun parts, you get $300. And EXP is 15. These are all randomized, and it doesn't show up in every single map. So those are all the base amount. You have the formula right now. You can go ahead and just multiply it by yourself, and you're able to tell how much money you are able to get if you play in the different maps, in the different difficulties as well, and whether you're playing in solo play or not. In my money XP guide, I was telling you guys about, playing Cyclone Street. That's the most reliable way of earning money and EXP. So let's talk about the maps. One thing we know for sure is that when you're playing in the specific maps, you will still be paid according to the maps as well, aside from the optional objectives. So hospital obviously still pays the most, but is the biggest map, and it's going to delay your investigation a little bit longer as compared to the other maps. Depending on what you're actually going for, if you just want to go ahead and earn the most amount of money, I suggest Cyclone Street, because the map is kind of small and it's not exactly that scary. You can just keep going and going and going and going. In terms of difficulty, I would definitely recommend playing at medium first. Right now we do have a little bit of changes to the game. So what I mean is, with this new update, I have noticed that the game gets a lot harder as compared to before. So what I mean is, evidences are becoming less obvious in that sense. Even though they have boosted the ESG by 10%, it seems like the spirit box has suffered quite a bit. I feel like they have nerfed the spirit box. Spirit box used to be one of my go-to tools. Usually within the second response onwards, I will get a response from the ghost. So it's at almost 100%, is nearly guaranteed kind of thing. Right now there are quite a number of games where I had a spirit box ghost and I got nothing at all, like 0 spirit box response. This is actually going to be addressed in my next video, so stay tuned. So spirit box definitely has dropped like way below. It's no longer one of the tools that I actually use to look for the ghost room and things like that. I don't think it's reliable anymore. ESG doesn't seem to be bugged. It's just that it doesn't show up as often, but when it shows up, it feels a little bit more reliable. You know that if you are going to deal with an ESG ghost, you can expect an ESG reaction to show up. So that is a relief, honestly. Spirit box seems to be the new ESG right now, the one that is working or not working at all. Let me know what you guys think, whether you guys have actually had this issue before. So other things like the freezing temperatures are taking a little bit longer to show up, even the ghost room as well. So if you're playing in easy mode, if you're in the ghost room, it's going to dip into lower temperatures fairly easily, like fairly quickly. But if you're playing in hard mode, it feels like the ghost is able to change room more regularly right now. So I had this issue where it seems like the ghost had actually changed room like nearly 4 times in a single game. If you're playing at the abandoned house, maybe you selected like the Magna room for example. Less than 2 minutes later, if you're going out to go and get something and then you come back, you just take a look at the temperature, it seems to be going up instead rather than going down. So it's like dipping below 20 degrees, going to 15. It seems like it's going to drop into 10 and then suddenly it just goes back to 20. And then if you go to some other parts of the house, then you experience the same thing as well. It feels like the ghost room is not fixed until like maybe like 5 to 10 minutes later into the game, when the ghost finally decides to, you know, call this room his own. It's ridiculous. So hard mode is obviously out of the picture, although it pays a lot, but it is really not worth, because the fact that if you're playing in hard mode, your sanity is going to drain so quickly. By the time you even identify the ghost room correctly and you know for sure that the ghost isn't going to change room again, the ghost is probably able to hunt you already. So it's really not worth it at all. I suggest going to medium as usual. Medium still pays you at 2 times the multiplier, and then just do it in solo. I've actually done a lot of easy and medium games, and I think that medium is still the most worth it. So once again, Cyclone Street in medium mode. The one thing you need to take note is the 2 optional objectives for Cyclone Street is always randomized. So if you follow based on the table, you could be getting the least paying objectives or the highest paying objective. So this is really dependent on your luck. It doesn't really take too much time for you to just, you know, start the game, go up to the screen and just check out what kind of objectives you have. If you realize that you have the lousier paying ones, then just go ahead and leave the game and then just start a new one. 30 seconds to 1 minute of your time for better chance at, you know, higher paying objective. I still have to emphasize on the fact that the investigation has gotten a little bit harder as compared to before, so you guys have to really be sure. I've had a lot of times where, you know, the ghost actually behaves like let's say like a mare, but ends up is not a mare. There are times where the ghost is a shade. Shades don't really interact much in like bright areas or if the light is turned on, but I just had like a shade doing all sorts of shit in the brightest room and things like that. So it's ridiculous. It's very important if you can at least get all 3 evidence before you move on to the next step. Unless you are really running out of time, can just go on to the next game instead and just practice and keep getting better from there. I don't think that is worth making guesses for the ghost types right now, even though I have a ghost guide, but it seems like the ghost isn't really behaving like how it should be. So that is the problem. It seems like this problem is a lot more than what I experienced previously, like before the update. So guys, just take note. If you have anything to let me know, any feedback, just leave it in the comments. I'll be there to reply. If you guys feel like you're up for the challenge, you can still go to Cyclone and do hard mode. Between $8,000 to $9,000, I think that's still quite a lot of money if you guys are actually that good. I hope this guide helps. Go ahead and let me know what actually works well for you. I hope this money XP guide will become a very useful video for a lot of people in the future. So if you guys done a little bit of testing on your own, let me know down in the comments below as well, so we can actually discuss upon it. All the best to you guys. Peace out.